Have you ever walked into a room and felt like you didn't exist? Like you could scream, cry, or even disappear, and nobody would notice? That was my life. Every day felt like I was moving through a world made of glass. I could see everyone, but no one could really see me. I remember sitting in a crowded cafe once, dozens of voices, clinking cups, laughter from every corner, and me, just there, invisible. The world kept spinning. Conversations kept flowing, and I kept wondering, if I wasn't here tomorrow, would it even matter? At first, I told myself it was just in my head, that maybe I was overthinking. But the silence, the unanswered messages, the fake smiles, they all started piling up. Loneliness wasn't just a feeling anymore. It became a weight I carried everywhere I went. People say, just reach out. But what do you do when you have reached out and all you got back was nothing? That's when the darkness creeps in, the part of you that starts whispering, you're not worth caring about. But here's the thing no one told me. Being cared for doesn't always start with someone else. It starts with one choice, one decision that changes everything. And I didn't know it yet, but I was about to make that decision. A decision that would not only make people finally notice me, but make me notice myself for the first time in years. Stay with me, because what happened next might just change the way you see yourself forever. If you're watching this right now, there's a good chance you've felt it too. That strange mix of being surrounded by people but feeling completely alone. You wake up, check your phone, and nothing. No missed calls, no good morning messages, just an empty screen that somehow feels heavier than the phone itself. You scroll through social media, everyone's smiling, traveling, living their best life, and you're sitting there wondering if you even belong in this world. You might even post something hoping someone will notice, but hours pass, days pass, and the silence stays. And when you finally do get a message, it's not, how are you? It's, can you do me a favor? It's like people only remember you when they need something. And that hurts more than being forgotten entirely. You've probably told yourself, it's fine, I don't need anyone. But deep down, you do. We all do. We're human. Connection isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. But here's the trap. The more ignored you feel, the more you start pulling away. You stop reaching out. You stop showing up. You start convincing yourself that isolation is safer, because at least it doesn't hurt as much as rejection. I get it. I've been there. And maybe just like me, you've reached a point where you start to believe you're the problem, that maybe you're just unworthy of love, friendship, or attention. But what if I told you that the truth is nothing like what your mind is telling you right now? What if I told you that people can care and will care, but only after you take one specific step? It's a step that feels terrifying at first, but once you take it, it's like the entire world starts looking at you differently. And in a moment, I'll tell you exactly what that step is. But first, I need to tell you the part of my story I've never shared before. It was one of those nights when sleep just wouldn't come. I was lying in bed staring at the ceiling, my mind replaying every moment where I felt ignored, unwanted, invisible. I thought about the messages I sent that went unanswered, the times I tried to join a conversation only to be talked over, the way people's eyes would drift past me like I wasn't even there. And for the first time, I asked myself a question I had been avoiding for years. What if it's not about them? What if it's about me? Not in the way you might think. I didn't mean it as blame. I meant it as responsibility. Maybe I'd been waiting my whole life for someone to come and make me feel valued. But what if I was supposed to create that value myself? That thought scared me, because it meant no rescue was coming, no sudden miracle, no perfect friend or partner magically appearing to fill the emptiness. It was on me. So I got up. At 2:17 a.m., I sat at my desk and wrote down everything I hated about my life. Every way I felt small, every reason I thought no one cared. The list was long, too long. But then, something happened. I looked at that list and asked myself another question. What would happen if I flipped this? If I hated my body, could I start moving it, not to impress anyone, but to feel alive? If I hated my silence, could I speak up, even if my voice shook? If I hated being invisible, could I start showing up in ways that couldn't be ignored? I didn't have all the answers that night, but I made one decision. I would take one bold, uncomfortable action every day, not to make people like me, but to make me respect myself. And here's the strange thing. Once I started, people began to notice. Slowly at first. Hey, you seem different here. What's your secret there? But the real surprise? I stopped caring about whether they noticed or not, because for the first time in my life, I noticed me. That one bold, uncomfortable action rule, it became my lifeline. The first day, it was as small as making eye contact with a stranger and saying hi. The second, I signed up for a class I'd been avoiding because I thought I wouldn't fit in. The third, I posted something online without overthinking how many likes it would get. And with each action, something inside me shifted. My shoulders sat higher, my voice grew steadier. My thoughts turned from, I'm not enough, to, I'm becoming someone worth showing up for. The step I'd been missing all along, it wasn't begging for attention. It wasn't waiting for someone to care. It was this: show up for yourself so powerfully that you stop needing their validation. Because here's the truth. People start caring when you start caring. And the ones who still don't, they were never your people to begin with. I used to think loneliness was a punishment. Now I see it as an invitation, a space where you get to meet the most important person in your life, you. So if you're feeling like no one cares, here's my challenge. For the next 30 days, take one action, big or small, that scares you a little, but grows you a lot. Do it for you, not for applause. And when that voice in your head says it won't matter, remember this. It matters because you matter. You might not believe that yet, but keep going. And one day, you'll wake up and realize the world looks different. Not because it changed, but because you did. And when that happens, the right people will find you. They'll care, but you won't need them to in order to feel whole. If this message spoke to you, if it lit even a small spark inside you, don't let it fade. Hit that subscribe button. Join this journey with me, because together, we're going to build a life where no one cares is replaced with I care, and that's enough. And I promise you, one day you'll look back at this moment and realize this was the day it all began.